Welcome back. A Rise and Shine Gospel Church leader Benjamin Dingiso is expected to face more charges. The 52-year-old appeared in court today, accused of rape and sexual assault. It's alleged he sexually groomed minors and assaulted young men at his church for over a decade. The matter will resume tomorrow for his bail application. Manqoba Mchunu is following the story for us. He joins us now live. So more charges are going to be added. Do we know exactly what they are and what's the NPA saying?
Well, indeed, Shahan, we do understand that two more victims have come forward to the police to open a case against Bishop Benjamin Dingiso. And of course, these relate to those incidents of sexual molestation as well as sexual grooming that allegedly took place at his church between 2010 and the previous year. We do understand that the state has now added those two charges to the charge list. And so far, what we know is that there are 6 dockets that have been opened by the NPA, and 8 complainants we hear that are part of this charges that are facing Pastor Dingiso. But in terms of the investigation itself, Shahan, we also do understand that a murder charge may also be added possibly at a later stage. At this particular stage, we do understand that there is an investigation that is ongoing about a murder that allegedly took place in the church. It is an inquest docket at this particular point. The details of that are still sketchy, but what we do understand is that there was a suicide that happened at the church a few years ago where a 20-year-old had committed suicide. But the circumstances surrounding that suicide, there is still a lot of questions when it comes to how exactly that person died. What we do understand is that the person was found hanging from the toilet of that church, but with their hands tied at the back. So that is still part of the inquest. We do understand that the police had opened a case, but what happened to that inquest case, the NPA is saying that they will be working alongside the police to try and ascertain exactly what happened to that. So that possibly could be another charge that could be added onto this charge list. But in terms of the hearings, they were quite short today. We were expecting the bishop to apply for bail, but instead what happened is that we did see those 2 charges then being brought forward, and the defense saying that it needed more time to prepare for its bail application. It would need time, obviously, to consult with its client, and therefore this matter was then postponed. But take a listen to what the NPA had to say about this particular issue.
We can confirm as the NPA that that information was brought to our attention, that there is a murder docket emanating from the church itself, wherein a boy was found hanging, and the prosecution is working closely with the police in terms of establishing the status of the docket itself.
Manqoba, if you can, just tell us how many minors were allegedly sexually groomed and adults, men who were sexually assaulted in this matter.
Well, Shahan, what we're hearing at this point is that there may be well over 20 people that were actually sexually assaulted. And our understanding at this point is that not all 20 of them have come forward to open cases with the police. But what we know so far is that about 6 of them have come forward. We're still hearing reports that there possibly could be 4 more that might also come to open charges. And we do understand, of course, that this is still a very sensitive issue. There's still many of those victims that have not come forward to police. But from what we have been able to gauge from the police is that they are speaking to several of those young people. In fact, we do understand that they're taking several statements also from the landlord of that youngster that was found hanging from the church. So there's still a lot of developments and investigations that are still continuing as far as this particular matter is concerned. But we do know that some of the church leaders, religious leaders in that particular community have called for the church to be closed. Yesterday, you recall that they went to the church saying that they want to see it closed because of these serious allegations that are facing the church. And of course, in court as well today, we did see quite a number of them there outside, protesting outside court and saying that really they don't want the bishop or the apostle to be released on bail. And one of those leaders that was there was the leader of the Incredible Happenings Church, Pastor Mchunu, who, of course, was quite vocal about the incidents and some of the things that are being reported from that particular church. And he made it quite clear that as the religious leaders, they want that church to be closed and they want this apostle not to be granted bail. Take a listen to what he had to say.
We are really praying that there should be no bail. We ask even the courts, because, you know, the threats, they're already coming out. Even, you know, these people they show no remorse. They are using God, they are praying, and we don't want this church to continue, even under the new leadership, because the very pastors now who are taking over are wives or girlfriends of this, and they are men. We have no problem if you become gay, but do it with adults, you know, consent and agreement, whatever relationship. Don't use religion to destroy kids.
Manqoba Mchunu, we're going to leave it right there.